how we do what we do becomes more and more important. And that's for every guy here. We got to do it better. Our goal is to have the kind of team that nobody wants to play. And that means that we have to impose our will to dominate the competition all the time. It's all about what does it take to break you.
Welcome to Nick Sapp Jr. Sports Talk TV. Thank all y'all for tuning in. Thank all y'all for tuning in. And today we're going to be talking about South Carolina versus Georgia, the Bulldogs. This is a classic rivalry. A game I'm excited to watch this week, actually. And I got a special guest, a Dogs fan, Georgia Bulldog fan. I got him to talk about the game today. So I'm about to bring him in. Y'all show him some love. I'm about to bring in my man, Shane Pate.
What's going on,
man?
How you doing today, man?
Man, I am great, man. I am great.
I appreciate the invite, man. I'm up here in the dog cave, man, and just chilling, man.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man. A lot of anticipation for this weekend, brother.
Yes, sir.
Man,
go ahead.
This rivalry goes back, man. We even goes back to when South Carolina was a charter member of the ACC. Georgia has been scheduling this rival, between these two schools before the Carolina Gamecocks joined the SEC. So, with the big change in the conference alignments, in the format that they're going to, getting rid of the divisions, this will be this year right now. This will be the last time, until we don't know when, Georgia and South Carolina are going to be scheduled, to play each other. Because, over the last 20 years, historically, this game, not every year, but majority of them, this is the second game of the season for Georgia and South Carolina. And
yes.
so, of course, the Dogs have gotten the better of that series, but, I can remember, 2010, and, that Spurrier had a real good Carolina team that played Auburn for the SEC championship,
Yeah.
And they steamrolled us that day. I was in total shock as I sit there and watched that running back out of South Carolina. What was his name?
Lattimore.
He ran through us like a hot knife through butter.
That dude was different, man.
Nothing about it. Couldn't do nothing about it.
Yep.
I remember that, man. So, and going back to 2019, they stunned us in Athens. When Rodrigo missed that field goal kick. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, kept us from going into playoff, man. Kept us, we could have maybe hobbled in the playoff with one loss that year to LSU, but that kept us from going into playoffs. So, really curious to see what type of team we really have. I mean, okay. we played 2 cupcakes so far, and the defense is solid. I don't even have to talk. The defense is the best in the country, hands down. The defense, The offense is a little, got a little problem with the rhythm early in games so far. Set the tone. You've seen that in the last 2 games. That, in the last game, Georgia came out and, was scoreless in the first quarter. And so just not, just kind of lackadaisical daisy, just kind of going through the motions out there in the first quarter, just having, it may be the players, the young players don't want to get up for these, these no-name games. You know what I'm saying? These teams that they feel like they just ain't a lot of, emotion, So I want to see the response from Georgia. Can Georgia come out and get up for South Carolina? So,
okay.
That's what I want to see in this game.
So, when I do these things, I always ask questions like, what are some of the positives that South Carolina may have that may possibly pull this game off? Just possible, like any positive thing that can lead them to a victory, maybe.
Yeah. what stands out among this team is they got a real strong receiver core. I think right now, and I know we early in the season with just 2 games, but South Carolina is number 4 in receiving in the nation right now. In yards. So they got real physical, tall, lengthy receivers that can create separation. That and they got a quarterback that he can get the ball down the field. He's got a quick release. He's got good vision. He can read the field. So definitely, I think South Carolina is going to get yardage. I think between the 220s, I think they're going. I think Spencer Rattler's going to eat. I think he's going to make some throws. And the key for Georgia in that secondary is limiting those big chunk plays. Holding Spencer to 15 and under. Throwing the ball on per chunk per offensive play. That's going to be key. South Carolina also, they got a good defensive line. They got some good beef up front. Now, they kind of was out of sorts against that game in North Carolina, but they had opportunities in that game.
Mm-hmm.
The score really don't. It wasn't as bad as the score. I think it was 31-17, if I'm correct.
Yeah, something like that.
The score really don't really tell the whole story. South Carolina was in that game until the very end. They had some turnovers. I think Rattler was sacked 9 times. So they got some offensive line problems. You know what I'm saying? Hold up against, and I really don't truly know enough about North Carolina to know if they really got an elite pass rush. You give up 9 sacks in a game, and you tend to worry, damn, these guys, are they elite on the defensive side of the ball, or is just the offensive line really having problems? First game of the season, though, and, has all those components in the offensive line, have they gelled? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of questions. I for one didn't write South Carolina off because they lost the first game of the season.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? I think Coach Beamer has put together a good staff in South Carolina. I think he's done a B+ in recruiting. You know what I'm saying? He ain't touched the top 10, but he has pulled some players.
Yes.
And he pulled a 5-star last year out of Georgia that we really wanted.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So he's pulled some players. So he's one thing about Coach Beamer is he brings a lot of emotion and excitement. You know what I'm saying? He's in, so he has a good he does a good job of rallying the troops. You know what I'm saying? So the key for Georgia, and is going to be, giving Carson Beck time to throw the ball, to make his read. Against, I think, is what is a very physical South Carolina front 7. More of it on the line instead of the linebackers, but still, though, you know what I'm saying? I think they got a good, solid defensive line, and that that's going to be in the trenches is where games won. You know that, and so who can push the needle? Who can push the needle? You know what I'm saying? So, and I was going to have you a bunch of stats and stuff today, but my laptop ain't cooperating with me, so I can't pull that up. So I'm winging it to some degree. So if you ask me what can hurt Georgia, Spencer Rattler. He's got the attributes. You know what I'm saying? When he was at Oklahoma, he was a Heisman candidate before he transferred out.
Yeah.
So can he deliver the ball to the playmakers that he has around him, his skill position guys? Can he get the ball to them? And, against a really stingy defense that Georgia has. And that's going, and of course that's going to be, can he also get protection in the line to be able to throw the ball? 9 sacks they took against North Carolina is bad. You give 9 sacks in a game. It's hard to win a game if you give up 9 sacks.
Yes.
So,
And see, oh, go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry.
go ahead. I'm just.
And see, that was my thing. No Spencer Rattler can get the ball downfield. But my thing that I cannot overlook is the 9 sacks. Because in order for him to make this pass game effective, they're going to have to get some type of running game. Some type of run game. And our offensive line that's giving up 9 sacks against a Georgia defensive line, this can get bad very quick if that offensive line cannot give Spencer Rattler time or just enough run to make you respect it just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I know Spencer Rattler can get the ball downfield. And coming to this season, I was actually hyped about this game because the way South Carolina ended last season, they ended on a high note. And I was expecting them to come in with the same momentum. And like you, I'm not counting them out after one game because, you can grow, whatever, anything. But it kind of worried me because I didn't expect South Carolina to get handled like that neither against North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I really thought it was going to be a shootout. But that wasn't the case. So I'm going to ask you this. How does what do you want to see from Georgia's offense?
Well, what I want to see from Georgia's offense is some consistency. Okay, and I want a fast start. I want to see. Mike Bobo call a game plan that's gonna utilize the run, but allow Beck to come in there with some nice, easy throws and push the ball down the field. The offense last 2 games, early in the games, have not looked in sync. And there's definitely a rhythm problem. Not a talent problem because Georgia's loaded with talent.
Yeah, facts.
There's a rhythm problem. And I don't know how much of it, and this is what I'm hoping to see this weekend. I don't know how much of it is Bobo being very conservative with the play calling, not wanting to show his hand, not wanting to show too much. Or is it just the players not getting up for the game until it gets going real good? Or are there some bona fide problems with the offense? You ask any Georgia fan, are they 100% confident in Beck's ability to move the ball? And, I'm at the 80% mark on Beck. You know what I'm saying? Because he's, I've seen him with some good. He's got for the year, he's got over 500 something yards passing. But I've seen him underthrow some balls that wide open receivers, and I've seen some players drop some balls too that should have been there too. But one thing that concerns me a little bit is in the last game, and I don't know how much Brock Bowers was in the game. I saw Oscar Depp in the game a whole lot, number 4 for Georgia. It seems like Brock Bowers disappeared after halftime, and sometime in the second quarter. I didn't see Brock Bowers in number 19. I didn't see him no more. And so, Stetson Bennett did a real good job of getting the ball to our playmakers. Brock Bowers, hybrid freak of a monster tight end, got hands like a receiver, can do everything. You know what I'm saying? So, was that a not seeing Brock Bowers get one completion? I didn't think he had one completion in the game. I may be wrong. I have to pull up the stat sheet. But not seeing Brock Bowers in the game, utilized in the game last weekend, I don't make conclusions and don't want to worry, but I'm like, Beck has got to get the ball to the hands of our playmakers. Okay. And no, I'm not saying we're a one-man team. We're not a one-man team. It's not Brock Bowers, our bust. We're not, you know what I'm saying? We've got Rod Thomas at number 5. He transferred from Mississippi State. He's got good hands, got good instinct. Of course, number 6, it came from was the number 1 receiver in the country a couple of years ago, came from Missouri. Dominique, and And we got I'm trying to think of one back off of
Lad?
No, Lad's still out.
Oh.
Lad was, I don't know if we'll see Lad. Lad's got a back injury. And so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know it. We'll see him against South Carolina. Marcus Rosemary Saint, that's what I'm talking about. I probably mess up his name sometimes. It was number one. He was serving a 1-game suspension. And so he had a hell of a fall practice, Kirby said. So he really stepped it up and really stepped it up in a leadership role. We've got, Beck has got a ton of talent. Of course, there's better receiving corps out there. I think Ohio State, Texas, Florida State all got better receiving corps than we do. But we got ours has the potential to be in that 4, 5, 6 range if Beck can distribute the ball effectively. And so what I want to see from Georgia this weekend is them to come out, attack the ball. And I want to see the offensive line early in the game run block a whole lot better than they have. I was not happy with the run blocking in the first half of these last 2 games, and they looked like they were just going through the motions, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see that Kendall Milton. I don't know. I don't really know where Kendall Milton is at as far as health wise. I really don't know. He's still banged up. Jawan Edwards is. You may not. I don't know if you'll see him this weekend. But I'm gonna tell you that number 0. We lost one Robinson. This is a kid out of Compton though. He's got the makings of a hell of a running back.
Hey, I told you what I felt about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's big. He's physical. Can power run downhill. Reminds you a lot of Derrick Henry. I don't know that. I don't know if he has the same speed. You know what I'm saying? That Derrick. I don't know what Derrick ran, but I mean, he's a load. He'll be a load to tackle once he gets downhill. So definitely want to see. And we got some other guys. That.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying? That I want to see how they do. Losing Robinson, in practice, that in the fall practice hurt because that dude was coming on strong at the end of the season. You saw it.
Yeah, facts.
Coming on real strong, and he reminded me a lot of Nick Chubb. I don't know if you remember how Nick Chubb ran the ball, but he reminded me.
Vision was that dude. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so. I hate that. He ran his pass a little lower to the ground than what the kid out of Compton runs. He runs more standing up, more a little higher than Chubb does, or this this other Robinson does. But there's not all these little areas I'm talking about easily fixable.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? I don't. I'm not. There's some City Georgia fans out here who are hollering Beck's going to be a Heisman Trophy winner. I don't see that out of Beck. I just don't see that out of Beck. Okay, but that don't say I'm not taking a shot at my quarterback. I think the quarterback. I think all Beck needs to do, and I think he can be better than a game manager. But all Beck needs to do is go out there and manage the game. Don't make mistakes. Turn the ball over. Know when to throw the ball away when ain't nothing there. You know what I'm saying? Don't hold on to the ball too long. Don't try to be something you're not, right? You know what I'm saying? If Beck will play within the system and within his within what he can do, if Georgia can put 35 to 42 points on the board every game with the defense we got, we should be sitting at 12-0 at the end of the season.
Okay. I agree. So I heard you mention the offensive line, and I've been hearing a lot about the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I expect more from the offensive line, but I'm gonna say, as a Bama fan, we talk about the cupcake games all the time. But me for talking to me, I like football for football. I really just be trolling. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But over the years, I have learned to appreciate these cupcake games because, like y'all been saying, the offense come out sputtering a little bit. These are the games where you can clean this stuff up. But let's just say, I like to throw out what ifs. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But I like to throw out what ifs. So what if the offensive line is what y'all saying, doesn't really seem much to improve, and somehow South Carolina just come out and play the game of their life, their defense, and they keep Beck in 3rd and 7 situations, 3rd and 8 situations. How do you feel about the situation then? How do we counteract that? How do we get out of those situations?
Well, first of all, I mean, what I've seen from Beck as a totality in both games is that, the offensive line, even I know they're playing scrubs, has been able to give him. We hadn't had a sack this season. All right, we didn't give up a sack. He's thrown one pick, and it was really a crazy. The guy took the ball away from another guy. It wasn't really.
Wasn't his fault type thing.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Georgia can't be one dimensional. Okay, you can't be one dimensional against anybody in this league, especially when you get in SEC play. So Georgia has to find that balance. All right. If Georgia can't run the ball and South Carolina makes Beck beat them in the passing game, Georgia's going to have a hard time offensively. Georgia's defense will keep us in the game until it comes down to the wire. Georgia's talent wise, being that they have they're deeper, more talented, should give them the edge in a situation like that against South Carolina. A bust, a defensive score, anything like that can get. You know what I'm saying? But if Georgia can't run the ball effectively, then it's gonna be hard. It's hard for Georgia to do what Georgia does, which Georgia wants to come out and they want to be in a. They want to run the ball. They want to play action pass. They want to, you know what I'm saying? So if you take away Georgia's run game and you make Beck into some type of, down and distance guy throwing the ball, it's going to be that plays in the South Carolina hands. That's what South Carolina wants to do. You know what I'm saying? That if I'm on the sideline for South Carolina, that's what they want to do. They want to take away the run and make Georgia one-dimensional. Can they do it? I don't know. We don't know that until they line up and the pass go popping. You know what I'm saying? But I don't, as a fan, I don't think they can. But hey, any given day, brother, any given day.
Yeah, that's true. Like me personally, I'm about to add somebody on too, which I'm about to add another Georgia fan on, man.
Okay, all right.
Oh crap. It's not letting me add you on, bro. I guess your camera or something. I don't know. It's not letting me add you on, big dog. I guess I don't know. I don't know if it might be a camera because it's not letting me add you on. Oh, okay. Add the stage. Let's see it. What's going on, man?
What up, Nick?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. What's up, big dog?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, man, I'm listening to you, and you making a lot of good points about what's going on.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I'm just a fan, man. I'm just a lover of football. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dog, red and black to the core. But other than that, I'm a football fan too. You know what I'm saying? I played football in high school and wasn't talented enough to go to college like that. But I just understand football. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking how I feel it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got any thoughts?
One thing,
go ahead.
Yeah, the one thing I will say though is that Georgia offensive front has been facing a lot of 8-9-man boxes. Ain't no team in football gonna allow Georgia to run the ball down their throat, knowing that's what we do. And even Kirby said that in the first game that UTM had a different defensive front game plan than what they prepared for. So they had to make adjustments. But we're gonna see 8-9 run in the box all year long.
Well, you know how you get them out of that? That's why you have to be balanced. That's why you can't be one-dimensional. All right? You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to burn them if they put that many in the box. You got to be able to burn them. Because for them to put that many in the box, that means them corners and them safeties are creeping up. All right? So you got to be able to have a quick release, get the ball out. You ain't got to hit them on a 50-yard touchdown pass every time. You can burn them for 15 yards at a time, 15, 20 yards at a pop. They coming out that 8-9-man box, I promise you, because you can't live in it. If you giving up that many chunks going down the field, you can't live in that box. So that, like I said, you know, on the defensive side, you know, we do that too. But we got to, defensively, you got to be smart about that. You can't live in the box in this day and age in college football. You ain't living in the box. You know what I'm saying? You know, because you will be exposed. You know,
that's 100% correct. So now, meanwhile, while all that is going on, like we don't have to. Georgia ain't got to show what their plan is or what their adjustment will be against UTM or Ball State. I mean, because come South Carolina and SEC play, it's gonna be you're gonna see everything gonna be utilized, all weapons, Brock Bowers.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Everything we got gonna be unleashed.
Oh yeah. No, I agree with you. That's why I said earlier, I don't know how conservative we've really been playing. You know, I mean, I don't know how conservative play calling really, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I mean, you know, and then on top of that, I said it earlier, I've been saying this. It's hard to get these young kids motivated for these cupcake games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just don't have the same enthusiasm to play UT Martin as they're gonna have to play an SEC team.
So let me ask y'all this. I'm gonna ask you for South Carolina and North Carolina. Who are some of the key players to this game that can separate each other? If y'all know any from South Carolina and for Georgia. I know y'all know for Georgia.
Well, I was trying to
position players. Position.
Yeah, I was planning on pulling up the roster while we had this conversation, and this is my wife's laptop, man. She don't got a mouse on here, man. So I've been struggling trying to pull stuff up, and you know, I go to Google Chrome, I go to Google, and it goes somewhere else. So unfortunately, I'm unprepared. I can't give you the starting line like I wanted to be able to come in here like I see KB do it sometimes. You know, just hit the box and be able to pull stuff up. Next time you have me on, I promise you this. I have a mouse connected to this thing, and this ain't gonna be no issue.
That's cool.
So, but I can't name names, but I know from listening to Kirby and reading some other stuff, is you know what I told you earlier about their receiving corps, and they got some big, tall guys, lanky guys. You know what I'm saying? That they're gonna make it hard in the pass. They're physical. You know, they got a defensive front. I can't right top. You know, they did lose that. You know, last year when South Carolina had that big game against Clemson, they had a big, tall.
Yeah.
And he ate good. He ate good against Tennessee too.
Yes.
He ate real good. And that got transferred out. He went where Oklahoma State, something like that. So I don't know who's gonna be the mail carrier for them on receiving. Who's gonna step out and be Rattler's go-to guy if there is one. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And see, for me, for South Carolina, I don't see them getting much of a run game going. I'm just honest about it. I don't see much of a run game going. It's going to have to be Spencer Rattler, the wide receiver group. And if they can magically so happen to keep it close, watch out for special teams because South Carolina last year they were pretty good on special teams. Their punter actually threw 4 passes last season for 2 touchdowns. So if they can keep it close some kind of way, expect Shane Beamer to try to make something happen on special teams to try to separate the game. Do I see that happening? Separating from the game? No. I think Georgia, Mikael Williams, them boys on defense are just gonna be too much for Spencer Rattler in that line. I think Spencer Rattler gonna have a long day. I think he's gonna have a long day. I hope he can make it an entertaining game, but I don't truly see it. And for Georgia, who do y'all see being that dark horse or the keys to this game for Georgia?
You want to go ahead, big dog? You want to chime in, big dog?
Oh, dog.
Okay.
Oh, no, he might be froze or something.
Well, I think the keys to this game is.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Well, I figured out my echo, so I'm good now.
Okay.
We're going over the keys to the game for Georgia. I think if Lad McConkey is back in the game, which I don't know if he is or not, I think that would be huge. Beck and Lad McConkey got that chemistry. You know what I'm saying? They've been playing together. You know what I'm saying, the whole time. Offensively across the board, that News kid, man, he's been tearing it up. So he's been giving Georgia great field position. You know what I'm saying? But who's got to step up? You use the names: Brock Bowers, Lad McConkey, Mark Roberry Saint. Like to see Rob Thomas get involved. I like to see Dominic Lovett get involved. I want to see Beck distribute the ball across the board. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to see. That's the key to me. Is just fluid. If Georgia can be fluid, if they can just be. They ain't got to be. Beck ain't got to throw 450 yards pass. If Beck throw 285 yards, 300 yard passing, and Georgia run the ball for 150, 151, 170, Georgia gonna win the game. About, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna put about 38 to 45 points on the board. That's all they need to do.
So for me, for me though, I think one of the keys, like they got South Carolina got the true freshman down there, Nicholas Harbor, a monster.
Yeah,
Bernard. You know what I mean? He's big, he's physical, but at the same time, he's a freshman. You know what I mean? And they played North Carolina, and they played, I think it was at Furman.
Yeah.
They ain't played the SEC game yet. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So now they're like all freshmen. They're going to have their welcome to the SEC moment. So my thing for it is, like, Georgia got 0 sacks, but also I don't think Georgia don't sent no blitzes at the quarterback because we haven't had. I just think we've been in preseason mode the whole 2 games because of, injuries, and they getting people healthy. So off defenses wise, these guys not, like, first of all, I don't think they're going to, like last year, they scored 7 points at the end of the game. They're not finna just, like you said, they may eat between 20 to 20, but when you eating 20 to 20 trying to throw dig routes and deep ball, we got 2 of the best safeties who Kirby got them, boy. They trust what they see. Yep. They eye discipline is on point. Yep. So you're not just gonna be able to throw the ball all across that field without them 2 safeties eating. Yep. I expect picks. If he want to throw, you're gonna see a couple pick sixes in that game.
And
you're
gonna see a
couple pick sixes.
As a Georgia fan, bro, that'd be beautiful.
And though I say, if South Carolina can't get some type of run, it's gonna be
not
so
doing
difficult.
Yeah, they're not finna run the ball.
I don't see it neither. But one of the guys, I know my man Tom Reed big on him, and we gotta mention Makai Muse because I think he gonna be somebody. I think we gonna hear a lot of him Saturday.
He's a special team factor, and as well as like Shane Beamer, special team guy. So I think that we got to be expecting the unexpected with Shane Beamer and special team.
Right, no. Trick play master. That's what Shane Beamer
Trick
is.
play, yes. You know what I mean? So, like, Kirby was big on calling that timeout on that against Ohio State.
Yeah.
Kirby got to, he got to be
Yeah.
all eyes on deck when it comes to special teams and be prepared for the trick play. You know what I mean? 'Cause Kirby, he'll sniff some stuff out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
See
you know,
stuff other people don't see.
let me fast forward. Let me rewind all the way back to that moment. I say, and this is what I noticed in high school football and high school sports a lot. You know, talent takes you a long way. But what gets you to championships, what wins you championships is coaching. And Kirby Smart did that last season. That got y'all a championship right there.
That prepared us to the championship game. It was that play right there. It wasn't even a play. Yep. It was a call. That time out.
It was a coaching move. It was a coaching move.
Yeah.
I got a print on the wall, and there's so many plays in that happened in that game. The Brock Bowers first down, okay?
Huge.
The hit on Harrison. You know what I'm saying?
Big time.
The Kirby Smart timeout. All them things had to happen. If one of them don't happen, we lose that game.
We lose that game. That's true.
And go back to that hit. True. We were trolling, but that was a legal hit. That was a clean hit. That was a legit hit.
And on top of that, had they go back, if it what they called it, they go back and look at the replay. He stepped out of bounds before he touched the ball anyway.
Stepped out of bounds.
He wasn't going to score. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He might have got a 15-yard penalty, but you know, it ain't like he was going. If he didn't hit him, he was going to have a touchdown. But
what you guys
offense
Smith. Yes. Hey, CJ Smith gonna be a stud, man.
A stud. Yeah. So listen though, but like I see, like you were saying, like we're not using Brock, man. Like the whole world would chew Kirby ass if Brock was to get hurt and against Ball State, bro.
Yeah.
The whole world would chew Kirby ass. So Brock, what's more important to Kirby and the Georgia Bulldog right now is getting Oscar Delp reps. Is getting Pierce Sperling reps. Yeah. Every guy on that team that practiced and that was healthy, they played both those two games. Meaningful snaps. You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but we got scored on. Our third teams and walk-on got scored on.
Oh,
Hey, let me ask y'all a question real quick.
Our first
y'all got to play on that team. I don't know if he played this year yet. I don't know what he did. Is Marvin Jones Jr. out there?
Number 7.
Out there? Yeah, he was out there.
He's number 7.
In that recruiting class, that was my favorite recruit. In that recruiting class was him.
Yeah, he was out there.
And that was before he committed to Georgia and everything. Like, I love that dude, bro.
I mean, that NASCAR package that people talking about. Like, we got a NASCAR package with Marvin Jones Jr., Darius Smith, and a couple other them guys, man. That just speed coming from everywhere, bro. Everywhere got speed.
Let me get my charger.
Man,
about to die. Let me get my charger real quick.
And I think Spencer Rattle in for a long day, man. Like he's a good quarterback. On taking that away from him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything he get, he gonna earn it. You know what I mean? For like his future and all that stuff. And I ain't gonna say he no shitty quarterback and he don't deserve nothing because he a talent. You know what I'm saying? But it's Kirby and that defense. They next level prepared. They prepared for any and everything. You know what I mean?
And like I said, I was big on this game because I'm hoping they can even rebound from the North Carolina game, but I just don't think South Carolina actually has enough right now. They might develop and mature more throughout the season. But
they young.
I don't think they have enough around them for this game right now. Like I said, I know Spencer Rattle can throw the ball, but I don't think that offensive line is going to hold enough for him to get it done. And with that being said, I don't think they create enough of a run game to make them respect the run enough.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Cause like I said, they're not going.
I'm about to ask y'all this: first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. We can make it quick. Predict how y'all see this game going.
All right, man. Say again, my dog has slipped in the cave.
I was saying for all 4 quarters. I want y'all to give me a quick sum. How do y'all predict this game going, man?
Big dog, I'll let you go first.
At the half, I think at the half, Georgia's gonna be up anywhere from 24 to 30 to nothing at halftime. They're gonna score 17 points in the first quarter, and I think they'll probably score another 10 to 14 in the second quarter, or vice versa. But we all know when Kirby get his team in cruise control, you're not gonna never see a 70-point game from Kirby against nobody, bro. Cause that just ain't what he rather give his kids playing time than keep running up the score with his ones.
Right.
But I think that if the 2s and 3s go in there and put it in the end zone, he cool with that too. But you're not gonna get 70 out the ones just for style points. That don't even matter. That shouldn't matter anyway. But I think it's gonna be about the same each quarter. Well, I think Georgia's gonna probably win this game though, cause in the second half it'll probably tail off in the third, fourth quarter. But it's gonna be about like 49-3, 49-6 total game.
Wow.
They're not. Yeah, it's gonna be about 49-6. It's gonna be something like last year.
I
They're
think
not getting in there.
my opinion is I think that I think Kirby has kind of got onto them guys' ass a little bit about these slow starts. So I agree with my man over here. I don't think South Carolina will be able to score against us in the first half. So I think you're looking at about a 28-point spread, and at the end of the half, Georgia going in with 28 points. I think, and I'm going to be just generous. I think you're looking at about a 42-10 game. Would because I mean, historically, teams have been able to score on our second and third string players. You know what I'm saying? So
if they score 10 points, their defense scored a touchdown.
Ooh.
Yeah. Last year we put the third string in there, and it took South Carolina. They got a few breaks their way with some penalties and stuff. They finally got in the ball. But like I said, I'm not underestimating Spencer Rattler or anything. I just think this defense is going to be a monster. I really do.
Yeah, fact.
And you know what the what's the word I'm looking for? The big play, the big factor in all of this. We ain't even talked about. You got one of their players challenge Georgia and they fans.
Man, it sure did.
Yeah, that's
Kirby
fact.
Kirby don't put Kirby don't make the call to the wild. Tell him come in and be loud, show up, show out. He don't when he make the call. I might even go to the game. My little niece, she's a student. She works at UGA. My little niece, she just called me, said she had 2 tickets that she caught COVID and she can't gonna be able to go to the game. So I might even go to the game. But Kirby, when Kirby called the fans, they show up. They show up.
Hey y'all,
and it's gonna be one of them days.
Hey y'all in the chat, everybody in the chat, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hey, but y'all know that most of y'all know that we was with the CTS Sports Room, but last night was the last night with the CTS Sports Room, and it's another channel that been started over there called Bam Down Sports. Hey, if y'all don't mind, go over there and subscribe. Hey, leave a comment, tell them Niggas Haven Junior sent them. But there's all the shows that we were doing on CTS Sports Room, we will be doing it on Bam Down Sports. So please go check that out. But still, y'all support CTS Sports Room because former Alabama wide receiver Matt Cadell, he does a great show on Mondays. That's my guy, Matt Cadell. He do a great show on Mondays. So y'all, everybody still support CTS Sports Room, but we will be moving over to Bam Down Sports, man. So hey, Nick, y'all, let's get back to it.
Nick, I'd like to give a few shout outs, man. One, I'd like to thank you for having me on, man. I follow your page, man, and I like your content. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I enjoy coming on. I'm no expert by no means. I'm just a football guy.
I believe that's most of us.
I appreciate the opportunity to come on here, man. Like to like to hook up with Roll Tide Rise Up, man, one time.
Yes.
I'm gonna set it up, man.
I like to do that, man. I want to shout out to KB too, man. Kangaroo Black. Hey, man, I apologize about sending you that picture of what's that coach? Who was before Nick Saban?
Shula.
Mike Shula. Got blocked because I sent him that picture, man. No, I still love you. I still love you, dog. You still run a hell of a show, man. So extend the peace olive, man, out there, branch, man. We can do some things.
We got to desensitize KB, especially
man,
after a loss.
I love that's my brother, man. I love the dude, man.
He's sensitive right now.
Man, he's still sensitive, man. You know,
that's my dog. I gotta get out, KB.
I got much love for KB. KB, if you're listening, man, I'm a solid dude, man. I still support you, brother. So just hit me on the block, man, so we can chop it up, man. You're a good dude, man.
Yeah, I gotta give a lot of thanks. I gotta give a lot of thanks to KB myself because I ain't gonna lie, this channel when it grew this fast, I don't think if it wasn't for him, the CTS Sports Room, they showed me a lot of love. Matter of fact, CTS Sports Room, they the one that got me the platform to start doing this. Then KB brought me over to let me start doing some of his shows, and that just gave me the confidence that
I found KB in 2021 when we were making our first run into the Natties. And I found him on YouTube, man. That joke of you boys he had me raring hot, man, with that trash talking, man. But I was glued to the tube though, man. I was like, okay, when he doing another show, he had me, man. So man, yeah.
I think he get everybody with the troll.
Yeah, he talk a lot of shit, but he's a solid dude, man. So
and
shout out, man.
He really do know his football.
Oh yeah. He's top notch, man. He got a top notch show and everything, man. So hey KB, if you listening, brother, man, I still got love for you, man. Let's get it back to going, man.
Hey, Nick, say it's for another day, you know what I mean? But we're gonna talk about you and KB and how y'all quote unquote, man, ran y'all coordinators out of town. Cause I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that, especially on the offense side of the ball. How you gonna run a guy out of town who only his offense is averaging 40-something points a game? I don't care what he. I don't care.
I wasn't a fan of Bill O'Brien, but I did ask the question after the season when all the dust cleared and everybody was out. I said, who would we have rather want to keep? P. Golden, Bill O'Brien. A lot of people said P. Golden, but I was on the other side because I'm an offensive guy, and I feel like he could have schemed better for the personnel he had, but he averaged 40 points a game. I feel like if we had better defense play calling, better DC, we could have got did something with 40 points a game if we had better defense play calling.
There you go.
No, one thing, Nick, y'all mess around, lose to Ole Miss, boy, y'all ain't never gonna hit the end of that one.
Well, hey, this is about Georgia. This ain't about us.
Well, y'all ain't never. Boy, y'all ain't gonna hit the end of that one right there, man.
But before you right, this is the Georgia thing, but the biggest thing with Bill O'Brien in Alabama and with the fans, it's kind of like Todd Monken. He wasn't a recruiter. You know what I'm saying? He had a that wasn't a recruiter. It was a gap between the 2023 kids and Bill O'Brien old school. He really couldn't relate to these kids, and you could kind of tell. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was the biggest thing with being able to grasp these kids and get what he wanted out of them. You know what I'm saying? You look at Georgia running back.
Todd Monken versus Bill O'Brien. Todd Monken was about playing complementary football. Bill O'Brien was just trying to rely too much on Bryce.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you on that because Alabama did. I mean, there ain't no sense recruiting good running backs. You're never gonna use them.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. On the damn sideline. You know what I'm saying for Alabama. You know, Monken didn't. My man, you right about Monken. He didn't care for recruiting at all. That's probably the biggest factor why he left Georgia.
He sold them money once they got there. He sold them on the chalkboard. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go out. He wasn't a big go to into high school. That wasn't his thing.
want to be out all over
But
the damn place recruiting.
but one thing about though, like at Georgia though, which a lot of people don't know, and Monken started this. Every offensive position coach got to say so in the game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I think that me being an offensive guy, if I was a coach, I'd be OC. I'd probably start off as an offensive line coach and I'd be OC. But I agree to that because who knows those players better than the position coach?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and every position coach make their own substitution too. You know what I mean? They dictate all that. They dictate that.
That's how I would run it. That's how I would run it.
You know, a lot of Dog fans were pissed off when he selected Mike Bobo. You know, but a lot of people don't realize Mike Bobo had a year to learn under Monken, to learn this offense.
Yeah, he didn't change the verbiage or none of that. He didn't change the verbiage. Didn't do nothing. He didn't do none of that.
So you get the upside, or you don't have to change nothing. Your players who are there step right into what they've been. You know, so it's not dumb this thing down. Kirby Smart said a couple years ago, we got better when we made it less complicated.
And right. Let me add on to what you said there for Alabama. So last year we had Eli Ricks come over, transfer from LSU. We hear about this dude big time. But they saying he can't get on the field because the playbook too complicated. So I'm like, football is football, bro. If y'all don't simplify this defense so one of the best athletes can get on the field, this is going to hurt us. Like, it's no reason for a top-notch athlete, a proven top-notch athlete on the Division I level to be sitting over there because y'all talking about it's too complicated for him to pick up. A man coverage is going to be man coverage. God dang, zone going to be zone. Like, come on, it's simplify the games because what I do know about athletes, top-notch athletes, they going to make the football play. I seen it in the high school. I know high school is different beast from college level. But I knew players in high school that didn't know goddamn on what the heck the goddamn play was. They didn't understand that jump for nothing. But when that ball snapped, you will never know the difference because they gonna make the football play. So simplify this thing and let the athlete players think the football, bro.
That's what Kirby did, man. Kirby talked about that. And he was somewhere in at one of them teaching classes somewhere in
coaching clinics or something.
Yeah, he talked about. He's at a university somewhere teaching high school coaches 2 years ago, and he said we took analysts and we broke everything down, and we ran the numbers, and we said the players are having trouble feedback, making the game too complicated.
Make it too complicated.
They made it less complicated. The players can play faster. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
faster when it's less complicated.
Go ahead.
And on top of that, Kirby, you know what I mean, they put so much work in with like his backers and stuff. If they do make a bad call, they trust their backers to get them in the right play. Cause like the last Nakobe Dean, they sent stuff and they seen stuff, and they would make checks at the line. So like I said, and again, they just like y'all said, they down. They made it less complicated where everybody can be on the same page, and when something wasn't right, them boys made it right. Like you said, when the ball snapped, they made it right. Cause they, man, I'm talking about they put that time and that work in out there, man.
When Reuben Foster was at Alabama, he was talking about one out of DC. I forgot who he said was it, Kirby or Pruitt. It was one of them guys. He was like, man, they ran with 3 to 4 plays. No matter what, it was 3 to 4 plays, and they ran with it. Mm-hmm. But them boys were flying around the field playing instinctive football, making the football play.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like, and that's another thing too. A lot of people like those Kirby defenses at Bama is really what you. Even it's the players. I mean, you were talking about this through text, Nick. So, like the different type of players you recruiting 4 and 5 star, but it ain't guy that fit that culture down there. You got a lot of me guys down there. In my opinion, y'all got a lot of me guys and not a lot of team guys.
After the game,
and they don't fit that culture.
Some people told me that, oh, you ain't no Bama fan because of you. They feel like I'm quitting. I said, I'm not quitting on Bama. I said, I bleed crimson till the day I die. Listen, folks laugh at me when I tell them, I said, I've been since 92. I was a 2-year-old. We was in Germany. My dad was in the military. We was in Germany. And I remember the exact play because George T took the ball out of hand. The reason why, now do I remember it? The reason why I remember because my house went crazy. Now I'm a 2-year-old walking around just whatever, not paying attention to the game. But I remember that moment when everybody went crazy in my house. But I was saying, I don't feel like these dudes had that dog in them. Then what happened? Probably not a day, probably a day later, a day or two later, the old former Bama players were saying the same exact thing. They don't really believe them boys hard in it no more. They ain't playing for Bama no more.
You see that Texas just pancake that Alabama guy and just
man, that
from him, man. You know what I'm saying? I think, last year, what's his name that does a lot of stuff on ESPN for former quarterback for Alabama. McElroy. He talked about the culture at Alabama, and he said if you go to Alabama, you got guys dancing in practice. At backwards, running around. Ain't no sense of urgency, between drills. He said, I go to Georgia, and it's like the Marines. It's like Paris Island.
Yep.
And so I do think the culture has to get back to what it was. Now you don't, and it takes a few years to get that culture back. You don't get it back in spring practice. You don't get it back in the fall because you got to have the right type of players. I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible when I say this, and just from a football guy's perspective. I think that Alabama has really relied too much on the NIL and the transfers, okay? And relied too much on going to get outside players. One thing about Kirby, and he said this all along, year before this year, we didn't take nobody in the portal, okay? This last year, we took 3 players, all right? We lost one already. He been booted off Smoke, what's his name? London, I think.
Texas A&M guy.
He been booted off the team already for not going to class.
I didn't agree with that when he brought him in anyway. After he decommitted from us and went to A&M, you good? We good on you. We don't even want you back. That'd have been me.
What Kirby has said and what message philosophy, he came out and told everybody. I ain't just speaking out of terms. This is what he has said: is that he wants players that want to be at Georgia. First of all, right? They want to be at Georgia. They're Georgia fans. Secondly, he wants players that fit the mold of what we are trying to do, and their priorities line up with what we are, who we are all about. Okay, and when you rely too much on the portal, you getting the Mimi players. It's all about me. That's why Jermaine Burton didn't do. That's why he hauled ass out of Georgia. You know what I'm saying? That's why Jermaine Burton left, because Jermaine Burton was a Mimi guy at the time. Now he may be better now. You know what I'm saying? But that's why he left, because he felt he wasn't under spotlight.
Jermaine Burton was chasing them 1,000 yard that had just got. What's your boy for the Detroit? J-Mo.
Yeah,
that's what he wanted. He wanted them. It was gonna catapult him into. He knew that catapult him into the first round.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And knowing and Bryce would come and had a year with Bright. But he was chasing them stats. You know what I'm saying? And it unfortunately it didn't work out like that. He said, Georgia, you'll never have stats like that.
Georgia is Kirby's philosophy is a team mentality, not a me mentality. So if you're chasing stats, you're not going to last long at Georgia.
And I'm gonna speak on Burton. Coming into the season, it was one of them things that I was like, I can't say much about Burton. Burton gonna have to show me. And what I've been seeing from Burton since after the spring game, putting in work and how he coming in the season, I really believe Burton got his mind on right now. I believe he more focused on, let me focus on doing the right things to get to where I need to be.
More power to him if you do. I just think that, and just going by what Kirby said, looking at his methodology and looking at what's happening in Alabama has taken a shitload of players out the portal. And when you take players who, first of all, didn't commit to you in the first place, don't know your standards, don't know your not part of your culture, have not bought into what you are. You know what I'm saying? You're getting players that were other places and they made commitment to other places and didn't honor them commitments. So what really are you getting when you taking all them players in? You know what I'm saying? Now you may strike gold and get you a Joe Burrows. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you right now, for every one player that turn out, 5 to 10 players have been shown to be bust. You know what I'm saying? Look at how many players, they are not buying in. You know what I'm saying? So, I think the culture has to be changed at Alabama to get back to that murder ball. I heard Alabama fans, we want murder ball. You don't get murder ball overnight. Because you think about what Alabama has been doing is Alabama recruited so many players for so many years, an offensive line that could block a pass, a thrower. You know what I'm saying? They had an extremely good offensive line for the offense that was predicated on throwing the ball. Okay? So you went and got them type of players, right? Well, if you want to turn around and change your coaching philosophy and bring in a run-first offense, a ground game offense, that's what you went and got. The guy to Notre Dame, that's who he is. He's a run ball, carry. They're gonna run the ball 70% and throw it 30%. That's who he is. That's what Nick Saban wanted to get back to. I get that. But you got to have the personnel to run that because you have to have offensive line.
Then like we had a personnel to pay block.
Yeah, you got to have offensive linemen that are physically fit to run the ball, though. Because, see, when you're running the ball, the offensive linemen are going with you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but the thing is, I'm going to tell you those. In the first half of the game, bro, we had over 90-some yards. He quit it. And I believe people get so caught up in the big play thing. If you're going back to the run game philosophy, if it's effective, it might not be big plays, but you can't go away from it. You got to keep leaning on the defense. Like I said, first half, we had 90-some yards rushing. That's good. But just because it wasn't big plays, you can't go away from it. You got to keep leaning on it. You got to keep leaning on the defense because eventually you're going to wear them out. But I don't know what his mindset was. It's just me on the outside looking in. I'm going to start thinking that this ain't popping off big. But it's okay as long as you getting effective yards. That's just my opinion on it. That's my thought about it.
Let me ask you this. Wasn't Texas leading pretty much the whole game?
Yeah.
So at some point not by much. But I kind of feel like,
and I hear what you about to probably say, but think about when we were that game, that ground and pound game. Even if we weren't leading even if they were leading, it probably wasn't by much, but we still never went away from the run game. And what happens in the fourth quarter when you just keep running the ball? You wear them down. If it's effective, it might not be 50 yards, 25 yards. If you're getting effective yards and you try to play that type of ball, you can't go away from it. And we went away from it.
I think that Alabama, as a coaching staff, feel like they couldn't stop what's called from scoring, and they were trying to turn to a shootout, and hopefully they got the ball back last. And
yes, the shootout. I do believe that happened. Hey y'all, my phone about to go dead. I ain't gonna lie. We got to wrap this thing up. So I appreciate y'all for coming on. It's clear to see that we all got Georgia winning, and my guys got them Georgia winning big. I don't really like to do score predictions, man. I just like to say who win and lost, whatever. And appreciate y'all for coming on. Like I said, y'all go subscribe to Bam Damn Sports on YouTube. Everybody in chat, appreciate y'all. All y'all Georgia fans that come on to support me, man, appreciate it. Y'all know I'm a diehard Alabama fan, but I love the game of football, so I don't mind talking about other teams. That's why I do it. I love football, and I love talking about other teams too as well. So appreciate all y'all Georgia.
Hey, Nick Saban. Hey man, you know you like Georgia, but you know you like Georgia, man. Like that. That's why you're in Phoenix City, man. You know what I mean? That's why you're in Phoenix City, man.
Find out you got Georgia.
Yeah.
Find out you got Georgia boxes on.
Hey, listen.
Don't show me though. Tell me. You can tell me. Don't show me. Hey, let me out, man. You got Georgia boxers on, man. Don't show me though. Hey, man. Hey, you just an hour from me, bro. So I got to get you to come do a show in the man cave, man.
Hey, real quick.
Where you located at?
I'm right outside Montgomery, Alabama, but I'm from Macon.
Okay.
I'm from Macon.
Okay.
Georgia.
Matt Town. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nah,
Yes, sir.
I gotta go though.
All right, Nick. Appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate
I'll be good.
Hey,
Yes,
roll tide real quick and
go dog.
Hey, let's do it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.